So if you're a beginner in makeup, come close. This video is for you. You have no business getting 36 colors of eyeshadow palettes as a beginner in makeup, a complete beginner. What are you using it to do? You're getting highlighter, shine on your face. I know you have the money to buy a full box of makeup items. You can afford it, and I'm very proud of you. I'm very happy for you. But trust me, when you get that full box of makeup, it will get you overwhelmed. It will get you to a state that you feel that the whole process is too much. Why don't you just take it progressively? Why don't you start one step at a time? Especially when you know that you're not going to a makeup school, you're not going for a one-on-one coaching class, you're not paying for a one-on-one coaching class. What are you using all those things to do? So come with me in this video while I share with you 5 basic items that you should be starting off with as a beginner in makeup. So without further ado, let this video begin. So the first thing I'm going to be recommending that you get on the list would be a powder palette. Getting a very good powder palette is very and highly needed, especially if you have any plan of advancing your skill in makeup. Like you want to be able to do highlights, contour on your face. And why I mentioned the powder palette, because getting a powder palette would save you a lot of cost, because to have something, a powder that you can use for contour, a powder you can use to highlight, then a powder that will be your own match that you can use for your own face. And it's cheaper than getting three of those kind of powders, right? So you just get everything in one. And one powder palette that I strongly recommend would be the Sylvie Mac powder palette. I strongly recommend it because it's like a good dupe for those high-end powders like the MAC, Fenty Beauty, Sephora powder. It's a very good dupe, although it's pricey compared to your V Beauty powder, Avon Cosmetics powder, classic powder palette. It's more pricey, but then trust me when I say that the finish look that this Sylvie Mac powder will give you cannot be compared to getting the V Beauty. Of course, you can get a powder palette, like a small portable powder palette, for 10,000 naira. You can get one of 8,000 safe. But then I strongly recommend this Sylvie Mac powder, because then I have seen the finished look it gives on like a face, and I strongly recommend it. If you have money, just go for it, right? Although if you don't have any plan of advancing your makeup skill or whatnot, then I would strongly recommend that if you can invest in a good powder, like invest in a good MAC powder that could be around 25,000, 30,000. Or then you can still have, if you don't want that, there are still cheaper options, right? You can get powder for a powder of 15,000, powder of 10,000. You can get classic, you can get Milani, you can get Avon Cosmetics powder. Those are still good powders in that range, 10,000, 15,000, that you can still get for yourself. But then I'll strongly recommend that you get a powder palette if you are looking to advance your skill in makeup, right? CV Mac powder palette should be around maybe 35,000 ish. I'm not very sure. Maybe it should have been higher than that by now, but then it's within that range. But then I think it's very understandable, and it's very okay compared to you getting like one MAC powder or one Sephora powder or one Fenty Beauty powder, right? It just comes loaded, right? So the second thing I'm going to be recommending to you to get on your list would be getting a concealer. So I advise you get a concealer, one that is your shade, or maybe one shade darker than your normal tone or your normal skin match, and then something that is lighter, maybe one shade or two shades lighter than your normal skin match, right? Ensure that you match it, the lighter one, match it with your your palm, just a little bit, the skin just after your under your palm here, match it with it, let it blend completely. And then the one that is your match, rub it like you're trying out a foundation on your face. Let it blend out completely, right? So that type you can use it to the one that is your the concealer that is your match, like your skin match, or like maybe one shade darker. You can use it to conceal dark circles if you have dark circles, or um under eye, what's it called, dark under eyes. You can use it to conceal that. Then if you have dark spots, that could also be a very good way to conceal dark spots, right? You can use it to conceal any dark or any discoloration or blemish on your face. So aside concealing dark circles and all that, I listed out 5 things that you can use your concealer to do, right? So the first I wrote is to cover dark spot. Like I said, you can also use your concealer to highlight your brows. That if you start drawing brows, you definitely need a concealer to, clean up the brows that you have drawn. So if you use the lighter concealer to conceal the under part of the brow, then you use the one that is your shade to conceal the upper part, which is expected, right? So you see why I said you need to get 2 concealers. So the third thing you can use your concealer to do, you can use concealer as an eyeshadow primer to make your eyeshadow pop even more. So when you start, learning how to do eyeshadow, instead of going to get an eyeshadow primer that you can see maybe 3,000, 5,000, you can just start off using your concealer, and that would work beautifully well, trust me. The next thing I'll recommend you use your concealer to do would be for lipstick correction. Maybe if you line your lips and maybe you overline it or something, you can use your concealer to just easily clean it up. And then you can also use the concealer as a lipstick as well, or like a lip stain. If you highlight, if you line your lips, you can put a concealer in between, use a powder to set it, and then you're good to go, right? So these are the things that I listed out that you can use your concealer to do. There are different things that you can use your product, your what's it called, your product to do. And if you don't start off that way, trying to figure it out, if you don't start off, let me see what I can use, let me see what I can use this to do, you would get overwhelmed, and then you would not know how to, save costs and manage the product that you have. You always feel that what you have is not enough for you, right? So these are the things I mentioned that you can use your concealer to do. Let me also know in the comment section, what other things do you use your concealer to do that I would love us to know. I'll be waiting, and I'll be waiting to read your comments down below. This my lighting is just anyhow because I'm using like sunlight to record this video. So please bear with me. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about on the list would be getting an eyebrow pencil, right? Like your regular Davis pencil, your regular classic pencil, your regular, pencil. You can double as not just for your brows, you can also double as something you can use to line your lips, right? Getting a brown pencil is very versatile. You can also get like a brown pencil and also get a black pencil. They're also very good dark pencil, like the Mabrook pencil is expensive, sha, but they are good pencil that you can use. Black pencil that you can use for lining your waterline, and then also creating wing liner and all that. You can invest in that as well. So the fourth thing on the list would be getting a lipstick and a lip gloss. You see nowadays, even on TikTok, most girls just do their lipstick with their lip gloss and they are good to go, right? Just like I'm putting on. I'm wearing just lipstick and lip gloss and I'm good to go, right? I'm still looking presentable, right? So there are 3 lipsticks that I strongly recommend that, I mean, without thinking too much, you know that you need it in your box, right? Your makeup kit. So we have the red lipstick. I mean, if you don't like red, you can go for pink, but then red is always that power lipstick that every girl wants to use when she wants to make a statement, right? So a red lipstick, a nude lipstick, and also a brown lipstick. Those three, they are like, it should be like a very very basic lipstick that everybody should have in their lipstick collection. Get a good lip gloss, get a very good lip gloss, not the one that when you rub it, it will now be gathering inside your lips and be forming those whitish yama yama things. Lip gloss. So the next thing will be mascara. Getting a good mascara cannot be overemphasized, especially if you're not a lash girl, if you don't like doing your lash or doing lashes. I mean, when you brush out your lashes and maybe naturally you have like a long lash, girl, it enhances, it takes your look from 0 to 100 sharp sharp, like quickly. It brings, make your eye to pop, make your eye to, have a statement basically. So get a good mascara. I reviewed one in my previous video, the Zaron triple lengthening, is it flash mascara. If you can get your hands on that, I would strongly recommend that for every lady that needs her eye to pop without making noise, basically. So these are the 5 items that I feel that every beginner can start off with, and you will not get overwhelmed. Having those items, you can start powdering your face, doing your lipstick with your lip gloss, right? um doing your brows, doing your mascara, and you're very good to go. You don't have to do a lot. And you know that when you start doing a lot, it start making you look more dramatic, right? Somebody would not even tell that you're a beginner when you can start with these basic things, right? You can just use your concealer, conceal those dark spots, and then use your powder to cover up your face. Using a foundation is not a must. It has never been a must to use a foundation. Using the foundation is maybe you want to look extra glammed, right? But then you can always settle with just using a concealer to conceal dark spots, and then you're good to go. You should not be using your foundation to conceal dark spots. Foundations, they are too lightweight to be doing such heavy duty tasks. That's why you recommend you get concealers, because concealer would help you to conceal spots that you don't want to show up in your makeup, right? So when you get those concealers, you conceal the dark. Maybe I want to conceal this dark spot, or maybe this blemish here. I just put it on the spot. Maybe use my a little brush or maybe my finger to tap on it, cover those spots. Then I use my powder all over it, and I'm good to go. Nothing much, nothing serious, right? And you're still looking very much presentable. Let me also know in the comment section, do you think I missed out on anything? And if you are a complete beginner, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. If you have come this far, I am very grateful. I love you so much, and I love to see you in my next and other videos. Until then, stay beautiful and blessed. Bye guys.